All right. Hi, it's Jim Wright. And once again, we're talking about this 14-day trip of a lifetime to, well, not only to Egypt and also Jordan, but then to Israel. And today we have my co-host, my fellow traveler in past trips, Pastor Dr. Dave Myers, and good friend and our sending church pastor. So how you doing, Dave?
Amen.
Good, good, good.
Yeah, doing good. Doing good. Looking forward to it.
All right. Hey, today we'd like to pick up where we left off in our conversation with Jim Martin. We had covered the first 5 days with him, and now we would like to talk about days 6 through 8. We've already gone through Egypt and the Sinai Peninsula, and we stopped right before we got to Petra. But in any case, so hey, let's talk about when we leave Aqaba and head up to Petra. Now, we don't know if we're going to spend the night in Aqaba or in Petra, uh, but that morning we will be going to boy, one of my favorite places in the world,
Yeah.
the ruins of Petra. Well, what memories do you have of that?
The walk. the but just the spectacular nature of walking between those cliffs and then it opening up into the temple and all of that was just spectacular. Could
Yeah.
you know and you take your time. The walk is, I mean, it's 3 miles or whatever it is, but it's certainly a neat thing. And then having a service there, we had a service there to kind of down in the little place there, and that was sitting on the floor and on pillows, and
Hmm.
that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It,
It's
yeah.
interesting. I'm preaching through the minor prophets, and I just started looking at Obadiah, which is about Edom and Esau and so forth, and Petra was their fortification. They really, their pride was built up because you couldn't. They felt they were impenetrable because an army couldn't come between those cliffs.
Mhm.
But God thought otherwise. So
Mhm.
just kind of an interesting, just for me, it just kind of put it in perspective right away. So
Right. So that everybody knows, you walk for about 10, 15 minutes through an area that's wide open, and then you hit what they call
right,
what is it? The Seek? Is that what they call it? Uh, but
yeah,
it is a narrow canyon, and it is that winding thing. I mean, you see it in the Indiana Jones and a bunch of other movies, and beautiful
right,
red rocks, and you go back through there, and then suddenly you see the treasury, and it is the most stunning building in Petra. That it isn't just the treasury. You get back to the treasury, and that's where the big photo op is. But then you go to your right back in through another wider canyon,
right.
and that's where there's actually people living today. And the amphitheater is back in there, and many other ruins, and places, houses built right back into the to the stone. They're just holes in the wall. But in any case, it's quite a place, and it is well worth the effort to get back in there.
Yeah. Well, and the good thing is there's options. There's plenty of places to sit along the way. There was,
Mhm.
so I mean, if you take your time, you can go as
Mhm.
far as you want to go. Obviously you want to at least get to the treasury and stuff, but
Mhm.
otherwise you don't have to go further if you don't want to. So,
Mhm. And then we get back on the bus and we drive up through. Now the description talks about going past the hilltop palace of King Herod, where John the Baptist was executed. And apparently we went by that last time, but they didn't point it out, did they?
not that I remember. No, I don't remember that.
I
I remember going to the citadel where Uriah was
mhm.
killed. that
Hmm.
was cool. We got there too late. We're not able to go in, but I hope we can go in this time.
Yeah, it may be too late once again, but
Yeah.
yeah, that would be cool. We stopped, and actually we were just driving by, and the guide mentioned, and oh, this is the where
Yeah.
Uriah the Hittite was killed, and I said, stop the bus.
Yeah, really.
We
That was
pulled up
because that was
past
one
it.
of the neatest things for me. I
I
thought
know.
I really wanted to go up to that wall, and there's a plaque there and stuff, but it's
Mhm.
kind of an afterthought to them. But for me, it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was. And last time we went to a hotel that did not have a restaurant, and of course our evening meals are included. And so the tour took us to a restaurant, and we ate in a large courtyard outdoors.
Right.
And it was a little cool, and so they brought blankets to put us around, and they had heaters, and we sat around a low table, and it was family style, and it was just an amazing experience. I loved that. The I don't know that we'll be doing that this time because it's going to be colder during this time.
Yeah.
So I don't know that an outdoor evening meal is going to be practicable. But in any
Yeah,
case,
being a bus driver, I just remember that the bus driver getting us into a parking space that was about 2 inches wider than the bus. That was that was it.
these guys are good.
Yeah,
They
they
know
were
their
good,
stuff,
very good. Yeah,
and they also know their route, and so
yeah,
it's a good thing. Yeah, you can just sit back and relax, and even in the worst of traffic, it's not your problem. So
yeah,
anyway, and then the next morning we get up, and I think they're going to take us back to that mosaic place. Do you remember that?
yeah. Slightly. I don't.
Okay,
Doesn't ring a bell, but
it was actually kind of like a wayside beside the road, and they had this place where they had these ladies back there
oh yeah,
making
yeah,
those
yeah. Yeah, I
mosaics.
do. They made huge. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and of course, their ideas. They want you to buy some,
Buy something,
but
right? Yeah.
in any case, but it was very educational, and I was kind of challenged by that, and came back and started doing some stained glass work. But anyway,
Huh.
that's another topic. And then we went to Mount Nebo, and we're going to be going there. Um,
Yeah.
and what were your impressions there?
I have to say one of my favorite places because of the challenge that it was. Just to think about Moses, his last sight of the promised land,
Hmm.
seeing the Dead Sea out in front of you, the valley,
Hmm.
and just thinking about what Moses was going through at that point. Very, we had a service up there like we do every day, but it was powerful to me. That's one of the neater things that at least because it was different from the first trip we took. Um, and so for the things that were on this Jordan side, that was really
Hmm.
really special to me.
Hmm. Now, the significance of that is going to depend largely upon the weather. Um,
Yeah,
the day we were there, it was so crystal clear that when we remembered that the Bible says that Moses could see all of the promised land, um, you can.
yeah,
I mean, it
yeah,
is amazing how far you can see from up there. I mean, it's not that high, and yet the view of the Dead Sea and Jerusalem and on into Galilee and the Jordan and it was remarkable. However, if the weather is not helpful, we
yeah.
won't see all of
Sure.
those things. So
Yeah.
uh, be aware of that. Um, and then, of course, we cross back into Israel,
Right.
and we do kind of a strange thing on this trip in that as we get back into Israel, we drive past Jerusalem all the way to Tel Aviv, and we'll be spending that night either in Tel
Yeah.
Aviv or what's the name of the town we stayed in last time, just north of there? I want to say Netanyahu, but it's not. That's a guy. It was right on the Mediterranean Sea. You could get out and walk on the beach, and it was lovely.
Yeah.
Um, But in any case, then we go up the next day to Caesarea. And so,
Yeah.
what are we going to see there in Caesarea?
Well, that's of course where Paul was imprisoned yeah, for about 2 years. So you
Hmm.
see Herod's palace, well, what's left of it. It's all the
Hmm.
ruins. Plus, you have the
Swimming pool.
amphitheater. If you talk about an amphitheater there, that's one of the best ones.
Hmm.
You get to, we sit there and guide can talk to us there at the amphitheater, and then you get to walk down along the Mediterranean
Hmm.
and through the ruins. And so yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty neat place. You can see
Yeah.
why it was their vacation spot, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, you can see the aqueduct that they use for bringing the water in from the mountains to Caesarea, and it's kind of a remarkable place. From there, we go up to Mount Carmel.
Yeah, yeah, one of our favorite places. We
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Get
always
another buddy picture of us standing up
another
there with
picture. Yeah,
Elijah. But yeah,
yeah.
no,
It brings to light how far you're not right on the Mediterranean by any means. And
yeah.
so to think how far they went for water and all the rest for his altar, it's pretty neat.
Another thing that you will discover there is that when we think of Mount Carmel, we think of a peak, leading up to it, and yet it's not. Mount Carmel is where we believe the showdown between Elijah and the prophets of Baal took place. Was on probably the highest point of a ridge that runs along and
Right.
out almost to the Mediterranean Sea, but it looks out over the Valley of Armageddon. And the significance of that place, not only in history, but also in prophecy, is amazing.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we enjoy doing is just kind of reviewing what prophecy says is going to happen there. And you can visualize it. Napoleon stood on that point and said, indeed, this is a valley where all the armies of the world could do battle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just a significant place.
Yeah. Well, and I just remember one of the years we went, um, the guy talking about how that every army that has ever attacked Israel, attacked Jerusalem, has to come through that valley.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, when you think about all the armies meeting there, it's not unusual. You have to come through that valley to be able to get to Jerusalem or get to conquer it.
Just as a side note, with everything that is going on in the world right now, the war in Ukraine is causing the world to take sides, and Russia and China are taking sides, and now Israel is being drawn into it, and prophecy may be just around the corner. And
Yeah.
frankly, uh, if we have to cancel this trip because we're in heaven, I'm fine with that.
All right.
Just be
Might
aware.
lose your deposit, but you
Yeah.
won't care.
In any case, then we go up to what is that, to Megiddo?
Megiddo. Yep.
Yeah, where it was one of the garrison cities of Solomon, where he had all of those horses, and we'll kind of climb the hill and see the stables and that well, and go down through that tunnel. But then we go up to Nazareth,
Yeah.
and the first time we went, we really didn't see a whole lot. This time, uh, last time we went, they took us to the Nazareth experience, which is amazing. It gives you a whole lot of cultural and historical background
Yeah.
on what life would have been back during the time of Christ's birth.
Yeah. Much more realistic
Hmm.
um, to what it was then. Than
Hmm.
the first time we kind of, again, it was in the afternoon, and we stood on the cliff, basically looked out over a bunch of trash, and
Hmm.
the second time was very, again, like you say, the different experiences, how the people lived,
Hmm.
um, was a good thing.
Yeah, we are looking forward to that because one of the things they do at the Nazareth experience is they really put you back into that time frame and teach you a whole lot about it and give you insights that you would not otherwise have. And then we travel on to the Sea of Galilee, and we're probably going to spend the night. We're not sure yet whether we're going to be uh, at a kibbutz on the other side of the Sea of Galilee or in Tiberias, but it's going to be good either way. Anyway, that concludes our experience for those particular days. And I'm really looking forward to it because once again, this trip will give you context as you study the Bible. And
Yeah.
you have any insight into that?
Uh, just it doesn't come all at once. You think, of course, for us, we study different things at different times, and everybody's like that. You're reading different things, and you're just able. Like you say, it's a life-changing experience or a lifetime experience because really for the rest of your life you're going to be using it. It's there are a lot of things I learned in seminary or different places I've never used again, but these trips are something that you use on a weekly basis as you read scripture. It just makes it stick out. And like I said, it just thinking about Obadiah, thinking about something, you don't realize exactly how it's going to affect you or how it's going to be come into your life, but it does over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. Anyway, that's it for today. In a couple of weeks, we're going to come out with the next video, and we'll be talking about the area of Galilee up north, the Jordan River, Dead Sea, and then the last video we're going to do is going to cover Jerusalem. But in any case, looking forward to it, and
yeah,
it's coming together quickly, and I think we're down to having like about 8 open seats on this.
yeah. I
So if
mentioned
you
it. I mentioned it in church yesterday. Just
Mhm,
had a couple people take flyers that I was kind of surprised. So I'm hoping we'll have even
mhm.
some more.
Okay. Well, the bottom line is if you're planning on coming and haven't registered, now would be the time to do that to make sure that you get a seat on this. We should be finding out about the flights here probably at the end of March, and we're holding out for some good flights. But
Yeah,
in any case, very good. Well, hey, thanks for your time, Dave. And
yep,
to everybody, if you would be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you will get notices when we put new videos up. And if you are coming and you have not, if you've registered but you haven't emailed me, you need to email me so that I know, so that we can get you on the list. Because the official list on the website that we've got down below on the YouTube thing, that's the one we're going by. So, in any case, thanks for listening and thanks for helping out, Dave. And
yes, sir.
we will hope to see you soon. Keep in mind,
All right,
great trip coming. Hope you're a part of it.
sounds good. Lord bless you.